continuing the March Out of the Box month. So, we are doing today, creating a cardboard stencil. You can see this is my first one and it's little hearts. And with my little stencil, I patterned some paper and I'll show you the pattern paper that I did. So you can buy pattern paper or you can make your own. So here are the things you need. You're gonna need a small piece of cardboard and you get yourself a couple. This is a good size because it doesn't take up a large part on the paper and you can get off the sides of the edges. So I didn't give you any dimensions, you know me, and like perfect squareness. Don't worry about that. Just a small square, okay? And then kitchen sponge. Now, I am fortunate enough to have lots of kitchen sponges that have just been chipped up, so I'm gonna use those pieces. But you know, a kitchen sponge, just one. So you have to have your glue gun and scissors and your paper that you're going to pattern. So this time I chose white because I want to do some colors, as you can see here. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is, I've already chosen hearts, so now I'm going to choose to make circles. I already started with one. And I'm going to do different size circles because I think that will be fun. I don't want all one size, just like with the hearts. So really, this is not even that great. Your sponges, especially if they're new, are going to be so much easier to deal with than my old kind of crusty ones, but you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to cut out, on there I did about 5, so I'm going to do about the same amount, because again, remember, it's not meant to be very big. It's you making your pattern by doing this again and again and again. All right, I need one more, kind of bigger. So I'm gonna do one more big one. Okay. All right, so I have my 5. I'm gonna scoot all my pieces off. And so I'm gonna do this first this time. This, I'll show you what I did over here. I put a clothespin on the back so you can hold it, and then when you're bearing down, you have something to bear down on. So that's the first thing. It doesn't have to be a clothespin, just something you can grab onto. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and that can be drying, and it will help us. All right. Then I'm going to position my circles this time. It's going to be like a crazy polka dot. And you can see this is not going to take us that long to make, but that gives you a lot more time to have fun making your papers. Alright, so there's that. I'm going to let that dry a little bit so it's not sliding all around. And I will show you using this. Now because mine are old, and in case you do use older sponges, get yourself a paintbrush. Make it wet, and go ahead and wet your older sponges because they're probably just very hard. Just soften up that first little layer so it can actually receive some paint a little bit better. Yeah, that's what I want. There we go. Because the sponges are kind of thick, and especially after they dry and after you use this and use this again and again, those top layers are going to start to dry up with just the chemicals of whatever's in the paint. So wet it down just a little bit. Now here's what I'm going to try this time. I'm going to just pour out some paint. I'm going to scatter it around, just something that gives you a larger surface area that maybe you can just go down in. let's just see. I'm going to show you. That up. And if it didn't get enough paint, just stick it back down in. You want those hearts to come right off. Okay. There we go. All right, so let's see what we got here. And I'm going to do it in this corner. And get the middle. So it's kind of like a squishy heart. There's that. So I'm going to keep going just right across until my whole page is filled with hearts. And I don't care that it's like getting less and less. I kind of like the look of that. Now that's a little too less. Now, don't be scared. Try to go back over it if you want to put more. And let's see what happens. It might mess up, but you know, it might not. Let's see. Ah, it worked. So then, let me show you this. So that's my paper, and it just looks like I have like a bunch of hearts on paper. So you can also, you don't have to do the whole stamp. You can turn it upside down and go off the paper. And just continue your pattern of hearts. There you go. There you have your pattern paper. All right, we're gonna also do, since we just made it together, we're gonna do our crazy polka dots. Now this time, I'm gonna go ahead and wet my, well, let's see here, get that out. I'm gonna put down another little couple of colors and color them too. See if I can do a multicolored one. Let's see, will it work? We don't know. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this wet, because these are still old too. There we go. And just need, yeah, that's good. And yeah. All right. So, this time I'm going to paint the different ones to get my crazy colors going. And get all the circles with some paint on it. Okay. So this is just another way you can do it. You don't have to just lay it down and have all one color. If you want to paint them on, you can. And I will show you at the end how I cleaned this. Since it is attached to cardboard, you probably want to be a little more careful. Okay, so there, just make sure you get it really good on there. Over this paper, let that dry, the hearts, and turn this one over and use this. All right, let's see what our crazy polka dots comes out like. Yay! I think that's a winner. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do it all over. Yes. I'm going to paint a little bit more on there, just a wee bit. And you see me, I'm rinsing out the brush. Be careful to do that so that you don't muddy your colors, unless that's what you intend to do. I don't intend to do that. continue on. Maybe I'll turn it this way. So play around with that. How you position it on your paper. Yeah. And just keep it going. Okay, so we'll have to try that one a little bit again. You can see, because it's cardboard, I can press a little more and I can get a little bit more out. So all is well. And there you go. We have our crazy polka dot paper. So there is that. This is your cardboard stencil. So here's what I'm gonna do. Move this out of the way so I don't paint my whole self. And let me see there. Take a rag and just, let it stop. Now you could let this dry, but again, remember it's already going to dry and you're going to leave some of that in there. So don't leave too much in there because it'll just keep making your sponge really, really hard. And you don't really want that. You want it to be able to soften up a little bit more. Okay? So, and that's what you're doing. So after, let's see here, after you get the paint to mostly come out, and it's not going to go back to your color. So don't even be waiting for that. Just try to get most of the paint out. Some of that water. Probably would have it a little cleaner, but this is the water I have right now. And so there. And then I'm going to take some paper towels and just press out the extra paint until it stops giving me that. See? And we'll do it a couple more times till we get most of that out. Yeah, it's mostly gone. So now we're just going to set it up to dry. And there is your cardboard stencil to make your crazy papers. All right, guys, remember you can catch us on Facebook and YouTube, and hopefully we'll see you in the